Hey, welcome back to Everyday Fly Fishing. We got a really good tying video for you today. We're going to tie you a rusty spinner. And this fly represents the slates when they come back to the water and die in the water as a spinner fall. And if it hasn't happened in your state or already has happened in your state, get these tied up for next year, or you might want to get them tied up because they're going to be coming. We start by debarbing the hook like we do on all our flies. And we're going to use a black 70 denier thread, and we're going to run that halfway down the hook shank and then half of that distance, and that's what we're going to tie our wing on. Now for the wing, we are going to use, it's like a, I don't know, yarn, I guess, a synthetic yarn that floats, and it floats well. I like it. It's much easier to use than real hair, and it floats as good. Floats as good as most deer hair. So we're going to use that as our wing. I'm going to show you a little technique of many years of tying. I kind of came up with this. I put a thread, light or a real loose wrap around that material. Then I take the end that's towards me and pull it towards me till it's where I want it to be, and then start to figure eights. And it works out pretty good for me, that technique. I like to add a lot of extra figure eight wraps to build that little, I guess, your thorax area up. And I'll explain to you why later. Now we're going to run our thread back to where we're going to start the tail, and we're going to select our dubbing. We're going to use the rusty brown. I think it's rusty brown, but it's for the rusty spinner, and we're going to use that out of our dubbing block. As you see, we're going to pick it out of the dubbing block, and we're just going to do a little teeny bit of dubbing to make a little ball right at the end of the hook shank. Aha, we got our bucktail back. I love using bucktail. I know, I know. Most of you guys might microfibbits or whatever them things are called. All right, that's cool. But here I'm going to take three strand or a clump of deer hair. And I'm going to take three strands of that deer hair that are exactly the same length as straight, not all curly. And it's three straightest and the same length ones, and tie them on one side. I'm going to get three again, tie them on the other side, and you want this tail to be 1.5 lengths of the shank of the hook. A little longer than normal. Almost two. I'd almost make them 2 lengths of the hook, but yeah, one I did mine. I think it was 1.5. Now we're not going to cut that deer hair off to about right at the wing so we can build up our body. So I'm going to wrap that up around the wing and go back to the tail to start dubbing. I'm trying to show you that the thing comes out in a V, the tail, by putting that piece of dubbing in the middle of them. It'll split and make your legs come out like that. That's what you want. Now we're going to take more of that rusty brown dubbing and start at the tail and dub this fly. Now I said I was building up that wing area, that thorax area above the wing, because we're going to take the dubbing up over the wing and right up to the eye of the hook, where we're going to finish this fly and tie the head on. So we're going to dub it all the way up over the wing, and we want a little bulk up there at above the wing. And that's why we put a lot of extra figure eights in. You notice here we add almost like 2 whips of the figure 8 wraps to build that bulk up, that thorax above the wing. Oh. And then we wrap it right up to the eyelet, and we're gonna finish it and right at the head. I've came to notice that if I use 2 whip finishes, I don't have to use head cement. My eyelet doesn't get clogged with head cement. I like that system a lot more. It's 2 sets of whip finishes, no head cement. And now to measure and cut the wing, pull the wing straight up, cut it at the same length as the shank of the hook. And hey, now it's done. Hey, don't miss the story at the end of this video. Stay tuned to all the way to the end. With a good video story about this fly. Now let's take a closer look at it. Hey, hope you like that fly. We did our sulfur video, as you seen earlier. If you've been paying attention to our videos, it came dark and they stopped taking the sulfur. We couldn't figure out, and we had on the other bank across the Penns Creek was the Penns Creek angler, a guy that owns the Penns Creek angler, and he said it's the rusty spinner. And I didn't have any of these tied, probably because the water temperature was too warm in times when these spinners come back, and the water temperature was in the 50s. And I think it's still in the maybe high 50s, and you're good to about 65 degrees yet. So I'd probably still fish a lot of these creeks in our area. But make sure you keep an eye on your water temperature and check it. If it goes above 65, you do not fish. Anyhow, so we went back that night and tied these up. And we fished a sulfur, and you watched that video, and it came dark again. And we whipped out the whisk. Now, we had 2 rising in front of us that were not taking the sulfur. So when I tied this on, I'm in there with big rises too. Rises, huge rises. And so we tied this on, and I missed both fish. I went on to miss 2 or 3 more. I don't know why. It was pretty dark. It was hard to see your fly. Maybe that had something to do with it. And the whole shock of, oh, they try to hit my fly. I don't know. But we missed 2, and Tracy went on with her lead of misses of 5 or 6. I don't know. But it worked. It was our fault. And so they work, tie them up, and maybe your spinner hasn't came back yet, or maybe it already has. If you do, put it in your arsenal and keep it. I know it's now in my arsenal and will stay in my arsenal. So, and it worked. You can use the microfibers or whatever they call them things. I didn't have any, and I was always taught, hey, if you don't have what it takes, make your own up, do your own version. And that's what I do a lot, and they work. So you can use them with the deer hair or the microfibers or whatever you want to use to tie that tail in. Just be 2 split tail in a V. As long as you do that, they'll be great. Make sure you build that thorax up a little bit like the natural has. And don't go too heavy on the wing. And thank you for always, thank you like always, sorry with the English shit today. Thank you like always for watching our videos. And, oh, if you want to support this channel, you can buy a t-shirt, and our links below. Or you can go to our videos, our really high, cool videos that talks about the shirts in detail. You should buy them. It's the only way we get money off of YouTube. So thank you if you have, or you're going to buy a t-shirt. And thank you. Hey, welcome to our video. Here you can see some of our other videos from earlier in the week. You can watch one of our playlists. Go check out our channel. Check out all our videos. We have over 100. And keep your lines wet, out of the trees, and only give them fish a sore lip.